optical communication chaotic razors. Connection between razor and cows. Connection between razor and chaotic was made in 1975. Hacker, 1975, where it was shown that a set of nonlinear differential equation from Maxwell-Bloch equation for a razor model resemble the lowest equation. That's the basic model for deterministic chaos. Chapter 2. Since that many observations have been involved in this 1990s, the major technique from the harnessing chaos were proposal synchronization of chaos and control of chaos. Many attempts to use these two techniques have been demonstrated in this literature. This which activated has raised engineering application of optical communication with synchronized chaotic razor. One of the most well-known examples of chaos razor output is semiconductor razor with optical feedback. Semiconductor razor have been widely used for the optical compact disc as an optical communication system. A small variation of the razor output is the transmission of feedback into the semiconductor razor because the reflection algorithm disc surface edge of the optical fiber. Figure 1.2 shows a simple model of semiconductor razor with optical self-feedback for the generation of chaos. A razor beam is reflected from the external mirror and feedback into the razor. The optical intensity in the razor cavity is predicted by the self-feedback light that affected the interaction between photon and the Curie disk in the razor medium. A chaotic temporal waveform the razor output intensity can be also experimented as shown figure 1.2b. First, intensity fluctuation can be found the order. Model semiconductor razor optical cell. Example, experiment semiconductor feedback gigahertz. The periodic fluctuation in this order nanosecond or 10 minus 9 seconds, which corresponds to the regulation oscillation frequency of semiconductor razor. See chapter 4. Regularly of the observation of the rich dynamics in chaos razor output. Many researchers did not pay attention to the instability of razor output. Most razor engineering avoid irregular fluctuation of razor output is considered. The razor was supported to be the stable single model, single wave arrays, and have been narrow optical spectrum for use engineering application. Irregular fluctuation razor output need to be controlled and eliminated in order to generate stable output or the periodic fluctuation for the large intensity spectrum. As the key switching process on the other has considered rich temporal dynamics of the razor output simulation of the inverse nonlinear dynamic model from the viewpoint of nonlinear dynamics in the discipline which where initial construction connection between the razor and the chaos could open up novel engineering applications such as optical chaos communication, Sosky distribution as random number generation, which were iterated in deal in this book. 1.14 of chaotic noise. One of the simple questions is how to find the chaos in razor intensity dynamics. But chaos characteristic distinguish the dynamic chaos from the stochastic node. Important whether chaotic is a chaotic component to government as by the deterministic rule which describes a set of nonlinear equations without any stochastic term and determines chaos can be distinguished to irregular dynamical noise. And the stability of chaos results from the inherent in linear interaction in dynamic system, but not from the static noise by contraction noise and defined as a regular temporal wave or form generated from the static process that based on static law based on the dynamic rule. A simple example is the traditional disk. Each force through the disk may not be determined, however, statistical law may be evidence after reference of many treated irregular temporal waveform noise. Not completely deterministic cannot describe a set of nonlinear equations. Instead, the behavior of noise can be somewhat described by a set of differential equations driven by the sequence of random number of stochastic terms. And 1, 2, synchronization chaos of communication, synchronous chaos. Synchronization is the temporal behavior with certain relationship. Instead of the temporal oscillation can be found in synchronization. It has been known that the periodic family communication oscillation with some frequency in the phase. Synchronization of the periodic oscillation is commonly used in many engineering applications of communication. Argue with the chaotic temporal behavior can be synchronized. Chaos is a counterpart concept since chaos has strong dependent on the initial condition, which indicated that two nearby injected start diverge externally in time of number reach to some state. The concept of synchronization of chaos just constructed the basis of constructed chaos. It has been found that chaotic system can be synchronized under certain conditions. Driven dynamic system, it can be have under temporal waveform form. However, respect the dynamic system with the complete signal from the driven system can be regularly stabilized. Response system in the stable temporal waveform. The derived system changing the superposition complete signal for the observation synchronization of chaos. See chapter 5. To actively identify synchronization chaos, similar hardware with similar parameter setting as required from couple chaos radar system. This symmetry results in the identical synchronous solution of the couple radar system, and the identical synchronization can be active. Addition, the identical synchronization must be stable. The stable of synchronization is dependent on the particular dynamical system, but the region stability parameter special has been observation in various radar system. Chapter 6. A remarkable demonstration of chaos synchronization was carried out to pursue application of the synchronous communication of 1990 in optical system. Synchronization of chaos in couple ways that has been illustrated numerically experimented. Lama 1990, Reuters 1994, Sugawara 1994, synchronization in chaos in couple optical system. And the position application on the optical sequence communication has been studied with chapter 5. Optical communication synchronizing chaotic ways. Synchronization chaos ways important application of optical communication. Standard optical communication ultra accurate optical periodic channel for the encoding that they currently are measured, and this was not consideration for security hardware level. Optical communication ways to the additional ways of security or radical optical communication by using chaotic temporal carrier. This hardware-dependent optical communication system have been developed develop this have international political and cultural communication system world vertical. Basically, multiple chaos communication showed the video 1.3 message goes up the chaos carrier management is a maximum single communication just chaos and management second level rate technique synchronization of synchronization transmit a message chaos carrier single similar message chaos is the user reported the original chaos carrier receiver major camera reported synchronization transmission single security chaos synchronization to affect the network operation of measurement single. Let look producer of the chaotic communication in detail. The chaotic system is the transmitter produces chaotic carrier to make message signal. This encode the signal when set to the receiver or if it is used for both the decompression machine and active synchronization of chaos receiver. A similar chaotic system can report a near identical chaotic carrier by adjusting with the set of static parameter value of the considering as static key to be shared beforehand. If the receiver succeeds, synchronization comes by the unique chaotic hardware, the static key can process similarly. Chaotic carrier can succeed the dimension of the original message. The main purpose of the communication of the hardware execution message by chaotic carrier waveform, which is known as scenography. Computer with a technical hiding message or the message node character formation. One of the most important techniques in chaos communication is to share the sub-chaos carrier with the using synchronization of the chaos to achieve a synchronization of the chaos similar hardware system as well as similar parameter value of require and the transmitter and the receiver. Synchronization against parameter arrangements one of the major level chaos communication. This narrow parameter range for the synchronization results in more frequency, since it is required for the hardware developer to achieve synchronization of chaos. Recent advances of practical implementation of optical chaos communication will be described in this book. See chapter 8, including demonstrating chaos communication and commercial optical fiber network 2.5 10 gigabit per second over 100 kilometer distance with low BER 2005. Several advanced techniques including photonic integration circuits as a whole as well as communication has been implemented in chaos communication chaos communication is necessary for the regulation users share communication secrecy barrier to the communication process. This system parameter provide the key because the two communicating ways are much here near independent part. Otherwise, synchronization fail. Distribution of the political interface. No, the security key distribution from the chaotic rate could be for the physical implemented security key distribution because the information sharing. This article because the chaotic rate of reception rate, chaotic expression rate, low communication rate, initial optical transmission and receiver optical communication system, including developed application. This restriction further can be used with the security, especially using hardware security on the random number generation, goes through the application and generation. Other problems another promising application with the chaotic radar, random numerical generation. In automatic chaotic radar provides 5 temporal dynamic of the chaotic with radar spectral hardware. Typical bandwidth semiconductor radar is 3 GHz. Which is determination by the refresh oscillation frequency, speed of radar advances from the application of physical random number, generation contribution with characteristic of the comparative chaos, a large band which is the radar cap open up new or which field of fast physical random number generation, the concept of chaotic device for the application with random because the generation of random single for the large application mixing mechanism. The concept of random number generation says we get chaotic signal radar for this binary signal. By the analog distribution on the continuous analog signal, individual binary distribution signal communication with the source about this of the binary dynamic signal statement of bits shown figure part of the original bit. Random number generation chaotic radar. Chaotic radar has been introduced in business since well demonstrated was published in 1965, which with the means the serial has been demonstrated random bit generation rate for the random. Random number generation requires an engineering approach chaos or maximum random chaos. By the control stabilization of the chaos technique contemporary avoid the complex instability of chaos to design the established order or stable radar. Chaos control technique may be useful for the separation of chaos instability. Just with the determination chaos including unstable periodic orbit can be utilized for the controlled chaos. The reach the controlled chaos in the opposite direction with the reach random number generation demanding minimization complexity of chaos respectively. Chaos rates for physical random number generation as the aspect of the insufficient interest as the topics overview in detail. As a possible application, chaos rates are described including controlling chaos, remote sensing, multiple communication with chaotic code in chaotic manner. Chaotic manner. Chaotic manner. Reading next to the concept of the following concept chapter for basis. The first part of the book is the concept of basic radar synchronization. A basic chaos radar. Regular concepts of pass the singular affair of the green Going forward, solid-state razor was the second harmonic generation. The example establishing razor as with the generation growing right wafer and the razor proposed available achievement solid razor with the expression ATB version of particular second harmonic generation as shown as here also severely stable when no panel. Schematic diagram of razor diode arrangements in the YH razor with an interactive diode the regular temporal waveform the green output individual system operating in two orthogonal operating modes identical wavefront razor cavity oriented YH and KTP characteristic dynamic control cavity growing razor has been developed by using oscillatory positive feedback control method based on the cell control counts. Back. Optical recording called temporal probe as semiconductor razor with and without optical feedback. However, concept complex electric field. Similar with higher detail into supported modulator for stability of the razor with short decision cycle. Similarly, stability has been the usual optical communication system for fabrication razor has an optical feedback razor cavity razor. And become a resolution for regression. The simple one the typical of verbal and the occasion typical for the motion that when the flow. The connection between cause and the razor was first model taken in 1975. He realized that Maxwell propagation for razor model and the Lorentz equation for the cause model were essentially the same formula by application various transformation. The Maxwell propagation describes the time evolution of the atom's electric field of razor system can be put in same form as the Lorentz equation for the set of transformation of various and transformation parameters. These equations are known as the Lorentz-Haken equation and construction in the differential equation. The Lorentz-Haken equations are described as follows. This video on the first can be solution used given the illustration. This is the illustration on the can be calculated from the initial condition. And since the manifold contributed determinants will reach the condition of use the simple module chaotic or electric one from manifold region perform was the original map. It may see the irregular sequence for the Vega 2.5 irregular because sequence described was the deterministic rule in the rule the initial condition as known. And this is true, however, initial condition with the infinite operation necessary for the variety. In real chaotic dynamic system, in this important initial condition with the infinite precision. In addition, there are the important characteristics of determine chaos as sensitive dependent. Here, To sequence of setting from several different initial conditions alcohol sequence of simulation of the condition. A sequence of the difference between logistic map and region to various variable region. After region for the various solution for the n variable for the binary regulated cost of the real cost with map logistic. Lyapunov exponent. The Lyapunov exponent is often used as a quantitative measure of sensitive dependent initial condition of chaotic system. The difference the two chaotic sequence initial experimental chaotic dynamics were asking for 2.6. The Lyapunov exponent lambda over recent formula with the absent of the switch of the map. Lyapunov exponential logic map where the change consecutive regular of periodic Lyapunov exponential of the figure corrected this chaotic sequence figure. Lorentz model consequential time. The logistic map a good model for determination chaotic understanding as chaos, but it may seem like the time model is simple result for the described dynamic. In addition, it has been a problem that this degree of freedom, independent variables are necessary to observe determination chaotic continuous time dynamic system. More realistic model can be described by using simple set of couple ordinary difference equation and continuous time dynamic systems. The paradigmatic model determines chaos of Lorentz model. The model consequently of the couple ordinary difference equation described further the combination is the core has below the major low temporal snap. A temporal waveform was various with the space chaotic attractive Lorentz model. 2. The temporal waveform theory for the single initial condition Lorentz model, the evaluation of the distance between two. And the scope of the evidence of figure 211b shows that time evolution of the distance delta t plotted on the semi-graded scale. It is found the dimension ground action from the variable and this rate of growth is characterized by the attractive reapproximation of the system denotes lambda. Vector diagram reapproximation expansion of Lorentz. Lorentz model finds the parameter value is a change communication of the possible expansion waveform. There are many other tools developing the scientific engineering exact information about the nature of dynamic system. This is notion that Poincare section which consists of first variable has certain variables. Points the sense the Lorentz values attract the plane through. Schematic typical roots of chaosic one with the parameter variable change periodic double roots of chaos between consequence vertical points in this parameter value. This creates exponentially, which is known as constant for the logistic map. This periodic numbering rules counting the association with the simple harmonic relation. And periodic numbering rules count the position many discrete as the continuous time dynamical system as figure, as well as many rate expression as simulation. This route as known the wave series counts. Element razor. This razor artificial light source will generate a coherent light which includes the density of the state photon. The photon is the fundamental fairly consistent light constituted enhanced process rate arbitrary with the now-optical spectrum. To make the laser oscillation, this key element necessary laser medium for light amplification laser cavity to convert the generated light the pump energy to start and continue laser operation. The schematic of laser configuration is seen in figure 216. This laser medium of which can be semiconductor fiber solid state or the gas is in the laser cavity construction and consists of pair of reflecting mirror known as the fiber for the cavity. This pump energy is applied to laser medium by using flash lamp lights. Laser lights or electric currents energy exceeds the atomic state of the laser medium. The quality is the atom laser application study. Alexa system. Principal laser oscillation by the two